Hi there, it's Natasha and thank you so much for joining me today. Today I have a small little haul of bits and pieces to show you, and there are some good ones in this haul. These ones make me happy. First of all, I'm going to start off with showing you these numbers. These are like stitched bubble numbers, perhaps. Numbers 0 through 9, they all cut beautifully. They're all pretty self-explanatory as to, you know, what they're for, and hopefully this is a piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece of paper in the background, which will give you an idea of the size of the dies and stamps that I will be showing you today. So these cut beautifully and will be good for birthday cards and the likes of that. Next up, I have a stamp set. I actually have one like this already. It's a sunshine stamp set, which I use quite a bit, and I saw this wishing one and I feel like that is something that I would use plenty. So I have picked this one up. Again, you can kind of get an idea of the size of the sentiments there, and I'm sure that you can read what they all say. Next up, just trying to move through quickly to make these videos not too long, but I have this die here. Now this is definitely one that you can just use your wire snips to snip all of these apart. I have been keen to keep some of my dies together at the moment, mainly because I always have a little helper helping me and things get lost easily, but also it does help me not lose them. So this is what it looks like when they're die cut, and it leaves these gorgeous kind of delicate flowers which you could put together to create a little bouquet, or even layer them up on top of each other to kind of make it more dimensional. But I will point out that this die here, it does not have a cutting blade around the outside. So you can see it has the cutting blade is all in the center there, and then these triangles have the cutting blade for the corners, but the outside here does not have a cutting blade. So I have just cut around this with my scissors just to really show you. Okay. Next up, I have some kind of layering dies that I purchased to layer up sentiments. I felt like I was lacking a little bit with my options that I had, and so I sought out a couple and have purchased them. So there are 6 dies in this little lot here, and they have no stitching. They're just plain dies which you would probably cut out maybe 2 and layer one with a nice contrasting colour behind it perhaps, and have the sentiment on the middle obviously. So that's my plan for these ones. And then along the same lines as that, I have this very similar set here, and I'm sorry that it's not out of the plastic bag, but these ones all come separated, and so in order for me not to lose them before I show you, I have kept them in the bag. Again, same sort of thing, you would layer them up, and there are 6 dies also in this set, but these ones do have the stitching. So again, hopefully you can get a reasonable idea of the size of them with the piece of paper behind it. And then, sort of similar, I have this Octagon set of dies here. There are also 8 dies in the set, and I did a card a little while ago where I had, it was with an owl, a happy birthday owl card, and I had squares. I used squares, white on white, to create a background, and I was needing an octagon the other day for a project, so yeah, it felt like a good excuse that I needed these in my set. Of course, these separate out. You just need to take your wire snips and snip all the little pieces in between, and I will do that when the need arises for me later on. Next up, this is again kind of a frame set. It creates these 3 frames here, and then this outside one does not have a second cutting blade. So once I separate all of these dies, this outside one will just cut a border. So it is not a frame like the other 3. So these 3 in here have an inside cutting blade and an outside cutting blade, and they have stitching, 2 lots of stitching on each die. So this is what they all look like. So this is the 3 inside dies. That is what they kind of the size, so you can get an idea again with the card behind it, the sizes of those. So, and you can see when I put this on here that it is not quite an A2 size die, the largest one. Anyhow, next up I have this gorgeous background die. This is so pretty, and it is exactly 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so it takes up the entire background, and I have cut it out of some cardstock so that you can get an idea of what it looks like. And it is pretty dainty, and but I must say what speaks to me when I see this one is that you would do some die cut inlay. Now it would take a long time to inlay the whole thing, so what perhaps I will do is just inlay the flowers or inlay the leaves. I don't have time to do the whole thing, but I can see that looking really effective. But again, it is a whole 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches, so it will take up the whole background, and perhaps really only needs a sentiment, and that would create a great card. So yeah, that's that one. Now this is one die set that it's just one of those ones where I received it and I looked at it and it made me smile. It is so pretty. So that is the largest one, and then the next one in is this one, and they all kind of layer within each other beautifully. That's the next one. It's the next one. This one again layers in there beautifully, and then the smallest one to go in the middle is that one. Now even looking at that, it looks so pretty. I feel like I'm going to need to cut it out just like that, but I have cut them out for you. I've cut them out in mirror cardstock, silver mirror cardstock, so I'm sorry that it's not a great contrast, but you get the idea. This one, isn't that so pretty? Just by itself, just seems really eye-catching, I think, to me. But anyhow, so right, you can layer these up, and I cut the next one, and I actually didn't put the center dies in because I just wanted to show you that you can also leave it out, and it would create a nice little space. But otherwise, you could add these in just like so, and it would look like that big one. So these are stunning. This one is so beautiful. I do not know what I'm doing yet, but I will be doing a card with these. Anyway, okay, moving on. Last but not least, I have been on an enamel dot kick recently. These are just cool. I have been buying these from AliExpress, and albeit they're not super cheap, I think they, don't quote me, but maybe about $1.20 or maybe $1 or so US per sheet, but they are so much cheaper than the alternative options on the market. And these two here are glitter. They're kind of like glitter, semi-transparent perhaps, and I'm sorry they're still in their packets. That wasn't very good thinking of me, but anyhow, beautiful colours. These ones here are all opaque, and they are glossy. I also have purchased some that are matte as well, and they are just as beautiful. So anyhow, I have been really enjoying using these, in particular to finish off cards and to use as things like flower centers and things like that. So I've been really enjoying these. Anyhow, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed these items that I share with you, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, bye!